Wait, what?
This episode is sponsored by Squarespace. 1993, Hong Kong action cinema was on top of the world.
Wait, what happened? Damn, that's dirty, dude. Oh my god. Jesus.
Michelle Yeoh just came back from her early retirement, Jet Li was leading a wave of folk hero wuxia films, and Jackie Chan was known around the globe. Meanwhile, Japanese culture was the new hotness. The first ever video game-based movie came out that year, and Dragon Ball Z just released one of its all-time best TV specials. So you can imagine how big of a deal it was when these two forces came together in City Hunter.
Can I just say that in all the history of DBZ, the heart virus was the most contrived, dumb fucking shit in the whole world? Jesus Christ, how cringe.
Helmed by Hong Kong's most prolific director, Shopmeister Wang Jing, and starring Jackie Chan, this is an official licensed adaptation of the Japanese manga of the same name, a rarity for its time. Wong even acquired the proper Street Fighter character license just so he can put Jackie in drag. It was an incredibly ambitious movie, and Jackie allegedly f***ing hated it, to a point where he disowned the film. To Wang Jing, much of the humor in the film are accurate adaptations of the source material, but to Jackie, they are lowbrow, perverted jokes, which, let's be honest, is a totally fair assessment. As the story goes, Jackie's negative comments pissed off Wang Jing so much that in 1995, Wang released High Risk, an action film that mocks Jackie for being an egotistical womanizer and a fraud that uses stunt doubles all the time. And the best part, the film was not entirely wrong. Oh shit. Let's take a look at High Risk and talk about the hidden side of Jackie Chan, shall we? The movie begins by blowing up a bus full of children. Jet Li plays a former bomb squad officer who failed to save his wife and son in a hostage situation. After losing his family, Li leaves the force and becomes the bodyguard for Frankie, a parody of Jackie Chan. In an odd twist of fate, the same terrorist who killed Li's family attacks an antique jewelry exhibition, which Frankie was invited to. The rest of the film is a die-hard style action flick. Jet Li is the only one who can save the day, and Frankie provides all the comedic hijinks. It's your usual Wang Jing schlock with cheesy plot, lowbrow humor, and surprisingly well-done action sequences and special effects. But the plot is not why you're here. You wanna know about Jackie Chan, right? So, let's talk about Frankie. First, how do we know he's supposed to be Jackie Chan? The film seems to have trouble deciding if he's Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee, so it makes fun of both. But the character's similarity to Jackie Chan is pretty blatant. And there are also slightly more subtle details, such as using similar stunt team uniforms, calling him Frankie instead of Jackie, and calling his manager Charlie instead of Willie. Also, he's played by singer Jackie Chan. Not sure if that's intentional. So then, what does the film say about Jackie Chan? Mainly 3 things. Number 1, he's an egotistical, unprofessional actor.
我呢個衰仔越嚟越忘本。
In the movie, he first appears on set, drunk out his mind to a point he couldn't do his own stunts. This accusation is largely wrong, as acknowledged by Wang Jing himself. Jackie has always been a very professional and dedicated actor.
He'll try his best to contribute the action sequence.
That said, the accusation is not without basis. In 2006, during Jonathan Lee's concert, Jackie Chan climbed on stage while drunk and insisted on performing as a guest. When booed by the audience, he verbally retaliated with swear words, although he did later apologize for his behavior. So, a drinking problem and an ego problem, not without basis. Number 2, he's a perverted womanizer.
我淨係聽人講話，佢好花心啫。
Frankie is depicted as a pervert who gets handsy with women at every turn. While the depiction is rather comical, it is, again, not an empty accusation. Over the years, fans and tabloid news have noticed that in a lot of group photos, Jackie is often unusually intimate with various actresses. It's frequent enough to be a meme. Added with Jackie's messy private life, skirt chasing various famous actresses over the years, and even have an extramarital affair, if anything, the parody is rather tame in comparison. And finally, and perhaps most importantly to you and me, number 3, he's a fraud who fakes his own stunts. And this one is complicated. So, what if you want to mock someone, but you don't have the artistic training to make movies or write songs? Well, you can always make a website with Squarespace. Okay, maybe don't go publicly dissing people, but for real, Squarespace allows you to make a great-looking website with no need for professional training. With a catalog of award-winning templates, all you need to do is pick one, and the editing process is as intuitive as it gets. It requires no coding knowledge, no plugins, no updates, ever. But if you have the knowledge, Squarespace also allows you to go very in-depth. Start your free trial at squarespace.com/accentercinema and use the code accentercinema to get 10% off your first purchase. If you are not confident in your ability to make a website, don't worry. You can do everything you need during the free trial. No commitment needed until you want to go live. So visit squarespace.com/accentercinema and give it a try today. Okay, does Jackie Chan use stunt doubles? The answer is unequivocally yes, of course he does. Sorry to burst your bubble. There are many reasons for Jackie to have to use doubles. Thunderbolt is filmed right after Rumble in the Bronx, in which Jackie broke his ankle and had to wear a cast. So Jackie ended up using stunt doubles for the majority of the fights. Sometimes an action requires professional training. Sometimes Jackie hits the limit of his body. He did this jump already and he couldn't do it again, so an additional jump is done by stuntman Zhang Wenfat. And finally, there are times when a double just gives a better performance. Supposedly, Jackie tried to do this spin kick and it never looked good on camera. So stuntman Qin Ga-lok was the one who did it. Here is Qin Ga-lok and Zhang Wenfat sharing their stories on TV. Yes, on TV. Turns out, Jackie Chan using stunt doubles has never been much of a secret.
New Line Cinema presents the action hero who does all his own stunts.
Many of you probably remember this line, and indeed, this trailer helped popularize the myth that Jackie doesn't use stunt doubles. However, contrary to popular belief, the myth predates this trailer. In fact, it stretches back to at least 1980.
Wait,